How's it going? So I invented the new meta based on the fact that League of Legends ruined, like Riot ruined the game in favor of Aram. So I figured out the new meta. I call it enemy jungle Nicht, right? So long story short, what we're gonna do, we're gonna take Smite as support. We're gonna take a very strong early game champion like Udyr, Tryndamere, something that can duel and win early, right? And we're gonna go into enemy jungle and go kill him, and that's it. And we're gonna take all of his jungle. So you on your team are gonna have 2 junglers. So one jungler is gonna be farming, like that's your proper jungler, right? And then your support is gonna be a secondary jungle who'll be just killing the enemy jungle. Okay, why will it work? Let me tell you why it will work. Because you noticed I'm capable of winning 1 versus 2 as Tryndamere, right? This is because levels are more important than CS. Basically, the reason why it's going to work is because Riot made CSing and laning almost irrelevant, right? So, if levels are more important, if dragons are more important, we're gonna go kill the enemy jungler non-stop, right? So the bot lane is gonna scale with levels and whatever CS they can get, right? We're gonna get all the objectives because the enemy jungler is non-existent, right? So we have the whole map basically to ourselves, right? And again, because the CS and laning is irrelevant in the current meta, right? That means bot lane is going to outscale anyway. Because I mean that 100 perfect CS that you got as an ADC is totally useless, because now the enemy ADC has 2 levels on you and 2 dragons. So now in fact the enemy jungler, enemy ADC is stronger than you. And you have to remember, on your team there is also jungler and supporting jungler who can gank for bot lane. So God forbid, the gank works out, you as a bot laner with single lane CS, with 2 kills, with all the dragons, with 3 levels on top, as the game goes on, I mean, you're gonna have 3 levels on him. You're just gonna 1v2 them, right? And again, you have to remember, we have the whole map. So I'm gonna test out this theory, right? And I'll see how well it's going to work, right? But I'm telling you, I suspect that it's gonna be the new meta, right? Because think about it, if fundamentally the bot lane is going to outscale because of the levels, right? So there is no skill, remember, like the game has no skill. So all this CSing bullshit, backing correctly, manipulating the wave is irrelevant in today's League of Legends because it's Aram. It's effectively Aram. So if I go and kill the enemy jungler, we get all the objectives, we just win the game, right? Because we're playing effectively, because the jungler is not there, right? We're gonna have basically 6 versus 3.5, right? Because think about it, right? Okay, let's look at their team and let's look at our team. I'm talking about players, right? Player power. Let's think about player power. So we're gonna have top. We're gonna have jungle, right? Mid, ADC, support, and here we're gonna have jungle. Okay, so this jungle, in terms of power, right? So this is gonna be 1. This is going to be 1. This is going to be like 0.1, right? Because this guy is gonna screw him over, so he's gonna be like 0.9. Because this guy won't be able to farm, because this guy will be in his jungle, constantly destroying him, right? So this guy is going to be 1. Mid is probably going to be 1, right? This guy is going to be probably 0.8, and these two are going to be 0.5 and 0.5, right? So let's look, okay, so, yeah. So if we sum up, so this will be our team A. Let me just put this thing up. Insert row above. Yeah. So this is team A, and this is team B. So what is this? Let me insert below. 1, 2, 3.1. So total 3.1. That's their kind of power when you think about it, right? In here we have 1, 2, 3, 8. 3.8, 4.7. 4.7. So this team has effectively 1.5 player on top of this team, right? Now, and that's just by levels and by power. If you add dragons, if you add objectives, gold advantage, this team will probably have like plus 1.5 players, right? So think about it, like this team is what? Oh geez, I haven't done maths in my head forever. So 5, 6.2, yeah. So it's effectively going to be something like 6.2 versus 3.1, right? And that's assuming. Now I hope ADC is not going to feed. Now I'm thinking best case scenario. I'm thinking best case scenario, right? Now God forbid this jungle comes, or this jungler comes and ganks the bot and kills these two, and this guy gets at least 1 kill. It's gonna be game over. It's just gonna, that will pretty much end the game. Okay, so I'm gonna test this out, and this could be potentially stronger meta than we currently have, right? Because I'm just 100% convinced that all this laning bullshit is no longer relevant. It's just not relevant in the current game. It's all about like getting the Dragon Soul and getting the because jungle is OP, like jungle is OP, right? So if your support is now turned into jungle, think about chess, right? What would you rather have? Two fed jungles on your team, or one okay support? And the enemy team has no jungle, right? Who would you rather have, right? One support, or enemy has no jungle and you have 2 junglers, both of them are freakishly fed, right? Because this eliminates the problem of, you know, top lane getting ganked by the jungle non-stop, right? So if you have a good top laner, he's gonna dominate, right? And I'm telling you, we're onto something. We're onto something. So let's test this out. Take care.